Good morning, my dear students of class 10. In today's class for physics, we are going to deal with electrical energy and power, which is a very familiar term with all of us. All of us consume electrical energy at home, okay? And we will also find out how to calculate the bill that you receive after every 3 months at home, okay? Depending on the devices and appliances that you use, you get some bill, isn't it? Now that bill is calculated using a certain formula based on electrical energy and power, okay? So let's begin now. We have all learned in our previous classes that energy exists in different forms. Some forms of energy are mechanical energy, heat energy, chemical energy, and one such form is electrical energy. Now this electrical energy is possessed because of the movement of electrons inside the conductor. So it is basically a form of kinetic energy, all right? And this also has been obtained from one more previous form of energy in the dams, like mechanical energy of the flowing water gets converted into electrical energy, and this electrical energy in turn will be converted eventually based on the devices. Suppose you use a heater, your electrical energy that you're supplying to the heater gets converted into heat energy, okay? If you're using a tube light, the electrical energy that you are supplying to the device gets converted into light energy, okay? So this is the theory of electrical energy. Now we will see how electrical energy can be measured, okay? The formula will be derived, okay? And from electrical energy, we are going to derive the formula for electrical power, all right? So let's begin. Let's take a very simple circuit to calculate electrical energy. This is a source of electricity, okay? Then you put a switch, then you connect it to a device which has got a resistance R. So this is the source of electricity and this is the key, okay? Now on passing electrical current to this circuit, certain amount of work will be done, okay? And when you pass this electric current, actually it is the charges that are moving inside the conductor, right? And the charges moved in a certain time interval t, charge is given by Q, it is equal to I into T. Where did this come from? It came from the definition of current, which was charge divided by T. On cross multiplying, you get charge is equal to current multiplied by time. So this is the amount of charge passed in time t due to the current I. Now we will next move on to the definition of potential difference. Potential difference is work done per unit charge, okay? And from here we can write work done in passing this electrical current or in passing the amount of charge Q in time t is equal to just cross multiply V into Q. But from this expression, Q is I into T. So we can replace this V will be written as it is and Q can be written as I into T. Now, this amount of work done is only stored in the form of electrical energy or is only consumed in the form of electrical energy. So electrical energy is nothing but the work done when a charge of Q passes for a time interval of T, that is equal to VIT. So VIT becomes your formula for electrical energy, okay? Now not only this, we can deduce other expressions for this electrical energy, all right? Using Ohm's law, like you have electrical energy VIT. Take this as equation, the first equation. Now, using Ohm's law, V can be written as I into R. So, if you want to write this expression in terms of I, R and T, simply replace this V by IR because V is equal to IR according to Ohm's law into I into T, which is nothing but I square RT. So this is the electrical energy formula in terms of resistance, current and time. This also happens to be the formula for heat generated during the same time when a current I is passed through the conductor. Alright, Or if you don't want this I expression, you can replace I from the same Ohm's law expression. I can be written as V divided by R. So this is my second expression. Okay. E is equal to, I don't want to write I, so instead of I write V by R whole square RT, or V square, R will be cancelled, V square T divided by R. This is the third expression for electrical energy. Okay, so if in a numerical you don't see the value of current given to you, but you see the value potential difference, you can use this formula. Or if you can't see the value of potential difference given and you see the value of current given in that particular numerical, you go for this formula. Or if both are given, you can go for this formula. This is the easiest one, okay? Provided you have the values of V and I in front of you, you can use this one. Or you can go for this one also, and you can go for this one also. So these three happen to be the formula for electrical energy. All right? Now, coming to the SI unit of electrical energy. The SI unit of electrical energy is the same as it is used for the other forms of energy. SI unit of electrical energy is joule. Like you measure other forms of energy in joule, you measure electrical energy also as joule, also in joule. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, that is electrical power. Okay. Now, power is nothing but the rate of doing work, or it is work by time or energy by time. So I can write P as the rate of doing work, or in terms of electrical energy, because W is equal to E, I can write P is equal to E by T. Okay. Now, energy, the expressions were VIT. The second one was I square RT, and the third one was V square T divided by R. Now we are going to use these to find three expressions for power. Power will be E by T in each case. So that means everywhere this T will be divided by another T, which will eventually get cancelled. So power is V into I. This is one. Next, here you can see T, because it is divided by time for power. This T also gets cancelled. So it is I square R. This is 2. And another expression for power is this T gets cancelled. So it is V square divided by R. So these are the 6 expressions, 3 for energy, okay? And if you know these 3 for power, you just have to take this out to find the expression for power. Okay, now coming to the units of electrical power. The units of electrical power, the SI unit is, SI unit of power is, yes, you're right, it is watt. Okay, but practically the power consumed, that is electrical power consumed, will be actually higher than this. So we go for other units, like we can use kilowatt, where 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt. Okay, or you can go for, if it is an industrial area, it will be even higher. So we can go for megawatt, where 1 megawatt is equal to 10 to the power 6 watt. You can go for megawatt, where 1 MW, this should be capital for mega, is equal to 10 to the power 6 watt. Or even if it is higher, if it is even higher, then you have to go for gigawatt, okay, where 1 gigawatt will be equal to 10 to the power 9 watts. So these are very, very huge consumptions used in very huge industrial areas. All right. Now let's quickly move on to the commercial units of electrical energy. All right. Commercial means commercial means money, right? So how do you pay money? The electricity bill comes at your homes. The money that you're actually paying is for the electrical energy that you are consuming for that particular month. Okay. Now, you know, electrical energy is equal to power multiplied by time. Okay, since the amount of energy will be huge because we are calculating for months together, we don't go for smaller units, we go for higher units. The unit of power you use kilowatt, okay, and the unit of time we don't take second here because it is a huge amount of time, a long interval of time, so we go for hour. So the commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. All right, now it is the energy consumed can be easily calculated by the ratings on the appliances. Okay, like if you have a look at the appliances carefully, you will see there are certain ratings written on it. The rating will be for the power and the voltage supply. Like suppose you have a geyser having rating 2 kilowatt 220 volt. It means that on putting this geyser on for 1 hour, the power consumed will be 2 kilowatt and it operates at a voltage of 220 volt. The supply at your homes, it is 220 volt. Okay. Now, let's go to power rating of some general appliances. Okay, some electrical appliances. Like suppose you have a bulb of rating 100 watt. Of course, nowadays we don't use a bulb of 100 watt. We go for LED bulbs, which has got a rating of maximum 20 to 25 watt. Okay, which saves a lot of energy. Lower this rating, you save more. Okay, and 220 volt. So this is called power rating of an appliance. Okay, so in this particular case, I've taken a bulb whose power rating is 100 watt to 20 volt. Okay, now with the help of this power rating, that means with the value of power and the voltage, okay, you can calculate two things regarding the appliance. The two things is that one thing you can calculate the resistance. Suppose this is a bulb, it has got a filament which is a wire, so the resistance of the filament can be calculated with the help of these two values. Okay, and secondly, the safe limit of current. That means how much current can this device allow. If you exceed the safe limit of current, the device will get damaged. So you have to limit the current, right, using a fuse and all. So this will help you to find out two things. One is the resistance and the second thing is you can find out the safe limit of current for the appliance. Let me give you the formula for resistance. The resistance is given by V square divided by P. Now V, the value of V is given, okay, and the value of P is given here. So you can simply replace the value 220 into 220 divided by power, okay, and the resistance of this filament, the bulb's filament, is 484 ohm. So you can easily calculate the resistance of the filament, though it is not written on the body of the appliance. Okay, and second thing which is very important in your day-to-day application, you can find out the current, safe limit of current by using the formula I is equal to P by V. Where did this come from? Because P is equal to VI. Okay, I want the value of I. So I will just cross multiply and I will be equal to P by V. The value of P for that bulb was 100 watt and the value of V for that bulb was 220. Okay, now after cancelling, you will find that 0.5 ampere is the safe limit of current. If a current of more than 0.5 ampere reaches the bulb will get damaged. So you have to put a fuse which has got a safe limit of 0.5 ampere. Okay. Now, the last thing for today's class is that I will teach you how to calculate the cost of electricity for a given appliance. Okay, the cost of electricity. Now, I will read out one question as an example for you. If an electric oven of power 3 kilowatt is used for 2 hours each day. Now, power for that oven is 3 kilowatt. All right, and time per day used is 2 hours. All right, now if I ask you calculate the electrical energy consumed by it in a month of 30 days. Now how are you going to find out the total electrical energy consumed by this oven, electric oven, in a month of 30 days? Firstly, we will find out electrical energy consumed in 1 day. So this is for 1 day. The formula is power into time. The power is 3 kilowatt and the time is 2 hour. So 3 into 2, 6 kilowatt hour. So this is the electrical energy consumed in 1 day. Suppose electrical energy consumed for 30 days has to be calculated. Then you just have to multiply this 6 by 30. Okay, it is 180 kilowatt hour. All right, now 180 kilowatt hour is nothing but 180 units of electrical energy. All right, you see the units written on the meters, right? It rolls up after you consume 1 kilowatt hour for the entire household circuit. All right, now if the cost of electricity, this is just electrical energy consumed, if the cost per unit is say rupees 3, so though it is quite low, but I'll just take it as an example, then what will be the cost of electricity for this particular electrical oven for a month? Okay, so it will be rupees 3 into 180. Okay, so it is rupees 540 you're paying for using the oven for 2 hours a day. The cost is quite high because the rating is quite high. 3000 watt is the rating, power rating of this particular appliance. So if you have got more appliances, you can just add up, calculate the cost of electricity for using the same method and add up the total cost of electricity. All right, so that is all for today's class. Thank you for your attention.